what's up, everybody? Glad you're here listening to us, man. I got two special guests today as we transition to a father's love. Today, we are going to highlight the love of a father, and there's no better guest who could kick this thing off with than my brother Tony Jaliffe.
All right.
Good to see you, my brother.
I'm glad to be here.
Hey, man, it's good to have you. Then we got Mark Berge over here. We're excited to get your son, Mark Berge. How you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. It's so crazy how I met you guys through two different avenues. I met you by doing some fatherhood work in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good things going on. I learned a lot from you. You know,
It was a long time doing it, but to see somebody like yourself still carrying it on is fantastic.
Trying, man. Trying. It's a journey. And then I met Mark Berge actually at church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
Yep, I did. I met you, and then I remember when I came and I shook your hand, said what up. You was like real standoffish, actually, bro.
Yeah.
It was very standoffish.
Nothing like that.
Get that honest.
Yeah, standoffish. And then I found out that this was your son, and I went to be like, hey, bro, man, chill out, man. I know your dad. I went and dapped him up. He still was standoffish. Then with time, man, I ended up finding out, man, he's a very loving, caring guy. And once you break that shield, you know, he's a very, very loving dude, man. I'm great to call him a friend.
It. Oh yeah, my brother.
Not doubt, man. Well, today, man, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be authentic. I got some questions, man. Fatherhood is so important to me. No matter where I go, no matter who I talk to, someone's story about their father shapes so much of their life. You know, I could talk to a grown man who's 55 or a 25-year-old boy and 25-year-old young man, and you can see how they speak, how they move by their fatherhood wound, or if they have a fatherhood wound. It's like a fatherhood hurt pocket. And one thing that I'm aiming to do is to always keep fathers connected to each other in relationship. And I know you guys have a strong relationship. So hopefully your story and who you guys are will encourage other fathers to connect more and to speak more and to stay tight-knitted because we need each other.
Yeah, you know, with fatherhood, period, like anything, you got your good and your bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to get good stories out, though.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of times we get painted in such a negative light. But in actuality, you know, I haven't seen stats since I got out the business, so to speak, but you know, at that time, the African-American dad was the leading dad in the household if, you know, he was there and fully and functioning. So we played with the children, we read with the children, we disciplined the children, we fed them. You know, we did that at a higher level than most, you know, other dads in different ethnic groups.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that stat still stands or if it's still available, but I knew 4 or 5 years ago that was a fact. So but you got good and bad, and I'm pretty sure we'll talk about the good and bad.
Yeah. Let's kick off. I mean, Mark is your oldest.
That's my oldest.
It's your oldest. Okay, first. So
we grew up together.
young dad. Word.
We grew up together. I was 19 when he was born, so we grew up together.
19 when he was born. So tell me about the day Mark was born. Do you remember that day?
Oh yeah, it was a Wednesday.
Okay.
Summertime. You know, we had some family issues between, you know, just no different than you get a lot today.
Yeah.
You know, the family drama type stuff. But
you and mom, or you and mom?
Yeah, they're just families.
Okay.
And but yeah, I was near the hospital, came down to the hospital, but I was the first in my age group, in my crew of having a child. I was the first. So we celebrated, you know. That's how important we knew it was. And in my family, you know, I guess if you're a father, you expected to be a father. You know, it didn't matter how old you were, how old, you know, young or old. It's literally like expected. And I didn't think about that until about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like every man in our family, if you got a kid, it could be 100 of them. You better know every last one of their names. And I didn't think about that until a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know,
We ain't got no scrubs in our family.
we ain't got no scrubs in our family. We put that on tape.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that.
Stand by it.
Yeah, stand by this.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I didn't think about
Okay,
that until
okay.
just 2 weeks ago. Like, golly, this is embedded in fatherhood in our family. It'd be actually dope to get a lot of my nephews, my brothers, and
Yeah.
just to see how many it is of us, and you'll catch us with. Before you catch me with another dude, you'll probably see me with one of my children. Yeah. So
And that's how all of them are, though.
yeah,
Very close knit.
yeah, it was weird.
So growing up, did y'all all live together? Was it you and mom stay together?
Oh,
and
no,
it's
it's co-parenting.
co-parenting from the jump.
From jump, and it was
How
co-parenting
did
for
that look?
everybody, co-grandparenting. You know, because one great part about it, well, many great parts about his mom, but one for sure, she wasn't the one trying to hold him back from the family, which you get all the time.
Okay.
She mad about the way things didn't work out, and then first thing they want to do is keep the kid away from the dad, and well, he wasn't like that with his mother.
Okay.
She wanted to break. So I'll be out and I get the phone call. I'm taking him to your mother's house. I'm taking him to your sister's house. You can get them from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we never had that barrier, which thank God, you know. So we managed to do as two teenagers, go from there to raise a kid. I thought we did pretty good considering he had to grow up with us. You know?
No. And was it like what, did y'all have parenting time established through the courts? Was it something that y'all worked out?
Oh no! Every summer, you just look up, his big face would be sitting there, just coming out, and he'll be
Yeah, I'll be right there on my grand.
sitting on my mama's lap, lap baby.
That's what it is.
What's it is? Mike, you remember going to your dad, spending the summers with your
Oh,
dad?
for sure.
What was the highlight of all of that?
I'm being with all my cousins. Like my cousin Jasmine and Damon, I was with them down there every day. It was like brother and sister to me. So that was mainly the highlight.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. And always stay close teenage year, always summers, just every summer you came out and stayed with it?
Summer, we never had a real plan.
Okay.
It was just, we just, you know, we did it as a group. It was a true village. You know, my parents, her grandmother, my sisters.
Okay.
You know, it just was never. My mom's house was kid central.
Okay.
At any given time, even as my age, it was always a minimum of 5 kids there. Like you wake up and you just like, where y'all come from overnight? Like 4 more kids. We eating cereal together. Like who dropped y'all off?
Okay.
Walked
all right.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
So
I got you.
it was always kid central there. So
Okay.
that gave everybody a place to go because my mom made sure everybody stuck together. And if you got a kid, and we probably got some that probably ain't, you know, but we
They just come stick.
it was a claim.
Okay.
They were brought in.
Nah, I like
So
that.
now.
you family now. I'm making light of it, but it's,
Yeah.
you know, once you was in, you was in. Some called it a cult.
Wow. That's dope, man. That's dope, man. It's good to see that village approach. So that's good, man. I wanted the people to hear some of your story as we just kind of peel back layers and figure out where y'all started from, how y'all have grown. To continue the conversation, we're going to transition to a couple questions, if you don't mind. I did some note cards for my man Mark, and I did some for you, Tony, right? So this is what we're going to do, right? So we switching gears.
All right.
When I ask you a question, you're going to answer it. When I get done, each one has 4. You can pick one question, right, that you want to speak on, right? So something that he may say, and you're like, all right, that's a question I want to address more. I want to talk about it more. Sound good?
Sound good.
All right. We'll go back and forth. All right, Mark. Shuffle them out. Okay, let's do this one. What are some things you have learned from your dad that you plan to teach your daughters?
Being a man of your word.
Mm.
Consistency. He taught me a lot of stuff how to do with my hands. So basically, like, I want to make sure that my girls know what to do too, like changing brakes, changing oil. They probably may not want to do that.
You know how to
but
change your
still,
oil?
I watched them did it. I know I do it.
Okay.
My grandbaby's rough.
Wow.
Yeah, Brooklyn and Bailey, they country, so for sure they probably would do it.
All right.
What else? Looking for honesty. Like they love their granddad. Like legit every time we going to Pop house.
Yeah.
You know, every single time, and I don't. It's a lot, and I can't really think of everything right now, but for sure he just being the overall great man.
Okay.
And the man that he is now, like, great.
I like how you said too, being a man of your word. I think that's a good one, and that's one thing you for sure want to pass down.
Oh, for sure.
I agree with that one. I like that one. All right, we're gonna switch. Let's go, Tony. See what you got. Let me move this one too, so I don't ask it again. How do you want to be remembered as a father?
Fair. I like to believe that, I'm going to tell you the truth about stuff. There's not a question that my children could ask me that I wouldn't answer in the most honest way. It'll be my whole heart. If I don't care how deep, dark, so just somebody that was just very fair, that always tried to find the good and the bad, and try to find that what you can really live with in life. Because if you grow up in this world thinking that everything is going to be skipping through daisies and stuff, I mean, you've already lost. But if you also the person that wake up every day thinking everything is going to go to crap, you lost too. So just finding that balance. So I like just being considered being a fair person.
Being fair. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
It's like asking.
Go ahead.
It's like when you ask God for something. Not, God's our father. You know what I mean? And our dad is that same image.
Okay.
So it's like when you ask God for something and He actually give it to you, and you like, oh, I wasn't ready for that. That's how He is. Like, no, I wasn't ready for the answer, but I got it now, and I gotta live with it. Like,
yeah.
You gotta live with the wisdom that He gave you, because now it's like you're in the dark when you don't know the answer. But then when you answer, it's light on it, and you can't walk away from it now because it's gonna always be there, and you gonna always look at it, and you like, forget it. I'm gonna have to go that direction that He just pointed me in.
Well, I ain't gonna hold no punches.
No, He not.
But I tell my kids all the time, I'm gonna ride with you. I'm that type of dad. I'm rolling. Just put me in the car, let's go. But while we riding, I'm gonna be telling you some stuff like this is a dumb
We shouldn't
decision.
be here right now. Yeah, this is all on you.
So when I'm gonna get in the car, we're gonna ride. Because I understand what it feels like when you need to go do something.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to get in the car and just, maybe before you get there,
Yeah, you got to see some truth.
maybe a decision might change. Like, you know what? You're right. This is dumb.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to let people make mistakes.
Yeah.
But that's the point of me riding with you. I think it might not be a good idea, but I tell my children two things. Don't kill yourself and don't kill nobody else. Everything else we could probably fix.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. All right. Yeah.
You kill somebody else.
I can't help you.
You kill yourself. Ain't too much we can do with that.
Yeah.
So if anything else other than them two things, we're
gonna work through.
We can fix.
Yeah.
So you learn, but them two things is kind of hard to come back from.
We're gonna keep it going. I got another question for you then, because it opens up. Share a time you felt you had to let Mark find his own way. What's a situation or a time in life where you like, you know what?
Oh yeah, all of us go through this as parents. He got grown and want to lead a house.
Okay.
He want to do his own thing. They want to, so you have to let him go. You pray for him though. You pray that you did all the right things for a kid.
Okay.
And it's something about boys, you almost want them to do that. Because we coddle boys in our community and for good reasons. So I would like to see those reasons disappear, and then that way we don't have to coddle our boys, and they can stand up and be a little stronger than what they supposed to. What they, the over just constantly trying to make boys into girls is ridiculous. And that's how I feel. I don't hold that. Boys should be boys. You hear it all the time. I wish a man could be more of this. If he could be more of that, he'll be a woman. If I said to a woman, I wish you was more like my boys, she would never be like your boys. You know what I'm saying? You can't constantly ask one person to be something else. You got to be a yin and a yang.
Mm.
You know, it's balance. So I actually forgot what we was talking about. But I ended up there.
I know you were saying moving out the house. As he's older though now, as he's older now though, has there been a time with recently where you've had to let like, all right, I got to bag away. I got to let you find your way.
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is my rolling.
Yeah.
So not too much. He make really good decisions now. He made them. He got his what I would consider some decisions that I wouldn't have made. He got them out early. So now he's making good decisions.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
But the best part, my son come and he talks. So if it is something he gonna do, you kind of I feel like he'll come and say, hey, you know what? I'm about to do this. I'm like, oh, bro, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you want to do it, get in the car and ride, you know, and but you're going to listen to me in this journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gonna hear every word.
Like, yeah, dog, you know, well, this is wrong. Well, if you didn't make that left turn,
Then we wouldn't be here. Okay.
But I ain't going nowhere, though. Just
like
know
that.
you're going to get both sides.
I like that. I like that. All right, Mark, we back to you. Name a time you felt most supported by your dad. Situation you went through where you just felt most supported. Or a time in your life.
I'm just trying to think of the most important one.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this. After COVID happened, my dad started becoming more emotionally open and more open and kind of like I don't know. You always been a tough, like, you know, I don't really say much, you know, like mean mug the whole time. But after COVID happened, it was like he realized some things, you know, and I would say the emotional support that he's giving me, you know, the hugging, the I love you, you know, because for the longest, I would get that, but not as much that I get right now, you know, so I still feel like a little boy at heart. So I get a hug, I'd be happy as hell. Yeah, it's my daddy. Like, yeah, I said it to somebody. Like, I gotta call my daddy real quick. They're like, you call your daddy? I'm like, I didn't even think about it like that. Like, but yeah, that's my pops. Like, I love him, you know, and then I don't know, like after that, it's kind of like I get that emotional support, like hands down, and I needed that.
You feel like you've always had that?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Felt like I was the emotional one.
Was. Try is.
Still emotional.
You know, you have to match. You got to match it with him. You know.
But yeah, I was the, you know, I've always been emotional, always been talkative, and that's just who I am. But like,
just always had a sensitive side, you know, and it's okay to have that. I've always said that. It's just I wasn't that guy. You get what I'm saying? But I always felt to tell my children, that's fine. Now you gonna get teased.
Yeah, you make fun of it.
You just made fun of this man in his pants.
I know, but
We're back at the pan.
No, just saying.
No. I like this. Wait, I got a question though. And this is what I always learn when I work with fathers. What was your dad like though? Was your dad very...
Oh man, cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dad. There's days I wake up and wish I could still be a fraction of what I felt like my father was. You know, no ideal situation. You know, he had children in a couple houses.
Okay.
But you would have never knew it by the way he raised us. You know, because you always, if he wasn't there, I knew where to find him. I never went without a Christmas, a birthday, school starting. He wasn't talkative at all. You know, but you could feel the love from him. You know, his idea of, you know, because his dad wasn't like that. His dad was abusive. My dad left home when he was like 12 years old and never went back because of the abuse of his father. But he vowed not to be like his dad. Yeah. So I like to believe that some of that quietness, that stillness came from him trying to sort all that out. But, you know, I wish I could just gotten 30, 40 more years with that man.
Wow.
Because he was just real patient.
Wow.
Real patient. You know, he didn't watch sports, didn't watch a lot of television. He just liked music. You know, he had a wall like that big there. It was just albums. You know, he'll sit there in his little chair, drink some cognac and just play song after song, you know. And that's how he, you know, that takes a lot of patience just to kind of.
Yeah.
And very solitude. We talk about that all the time. My dad, I'll tell people, he enjoyed his own company more than he enjoyed anybody else's company.
Wow. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
he was very, very solitude. But when he lit up, oh God, you thought it was New Year's Eve. Because, you know, he was so quiet most of the time. But when he turned it on, oh my God, you ain't never wanted him to turn it off. Because he was life of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So he was just a wonderful person. You get cats out here all the time. They got 2 kids here, 1 kid there, and they act like they can't manage it all. You made them kids, you know. My dad did with no cell phone, no tablets, nothing but pull up on you.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, make sure that, you know, then he always said one thing, and I'm gonna tell you this. If I was on the phone with my father always said, "I love you, son." You know, he always said that. You know, and he had this big, booming, deep voice. You know, like James Earl Jones. You know, and then you heard that, "I love you, son," and that was dope to me. You know, and I didn't see him every day, every couple weeks, you know, or something like that. You know, when he worked, he came through. You know, I still loved him. You know.
But was that tough on you though? Because I know when you say, you know, having kids in different homes, I think that is one of my biggest hurt in life. It is. Oh man, it is. That man, you talking about a wound that I walk around with every day that I'm learning to surrender to God. It's tough. And my daughter comes over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, take her to school on Monday, have her all summer, Christmas break.
What else do you want?
Man, I want to see my baby 24/7. I want to be around my baby when she wake up in the morning. I want that hug. But then too, I have another daughter who I love dearly, newborn. She's 4 months, right? I see her every day, right?
Yeah.
As a kid, to say, my siblings there every day with their father, or they get they get more time.
Yeah.
That does develop insecurities, I believe. No matter, even if you're trying to do everything.
Yeah, but not necessarily.
You don't think so?
It can, right? We know anything is possible,
Okay.
right? But just knowing you and your family, you know, you're going to be all right. She's going to be perfect.
I believe that. I believe that.
You know, she got enough love around her to make her not ever feel one way or another. So,
But I see it in her now. I already see it within 4 months. I do. You know, I talked to her the other day, and she was just talking about her sister and how much she loved her and how much she loves being at our house more. And I would say, yeah, but you know, you can stay here. You know, you are always going to be my baby girl. And you know what she said?
What?
I hear you, but sometimes I don't feel like that.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something.
Let's hear what you got to say.
Children going to always have their opinion, and they're going to give you their point of view of what they see. Now, did she have to pay any bills? Did she have to wake up and make sure she had everything together? Her whole world is this, when you got so much more happening. So you have to take that with a little grain of salt is all I'm saying. I wouldn't put that on my shoulders and say, oh, I got to do something different. I got to change something. No, you let her, she said what she had to say. You let that emotion work out, and you will find out that might just been a moment how she felt, not how she feel forever. You get what I'm saying? And then on the flip side of that, you can't change none of that. They're going to grow up and do what they want to do. Didn't you grow up and do what you want to do?
Yeah, but I think if I would have told my dad how I felt more, even some of the resentment and mistakes I made was out of that hurt pocket. Don't get me wrong. I can't, you're right. There's a degree I can't be there 24/7 with any kid, right? But when I have to hear what you're saying, and I have to hear it in my heart, and I have to assess it, right? And say, okay, no, I am spending a little bit more time here. Or when I do have you here on the weekend, it can't be just TV time. You need more personal time. So I think you have to hear what they say. Now you got to give yourself grace. I think that's what you were kind of say. There's some grace in it. But I think whenever you're raising more than one kid and they're in separate homes, it's a tough place to be in. You've been in that situation, right? Because I know you could relate.
Yeah.
Do you, Mark, how did you feel being in that spot of having siblings and navigating that as a child?
I mean, I didn't really think about it
Okay.
until I moved to Grand Rapids
Mm.
with them, and then I was.
What age is this, if you don't mind me?
We just
Point of
argued.
contention.
Okay.
Point of contention.
Yeah.
He's 16.
16. Okay.
But I forget who I was talking to.
You were
about
talking-
this. But
Oh, okay.
overall, when I got to Grand Rapids and I seen how my dad and my little brother Tony, little Tony, he has like the tightest relationship with my dad. Now I love Tony with all my heart, but I had some jealousy in there. I'm not gonna lie about it. And I told him too. I was like, I love you. I have nothing against you. It's just more so I wish I had that relationship that you and dad had. Because Tony was playing football. I wasn't really playing no sports. I mean, when I got there, I had to try to get my life back together anyways.
Yeah.
So like my dad coaching them all the time. They just always around, watching football games. I had to learn to love football because he like legit. I don't like football. I prefer basketball.
Yeah.
But I wanted to watch basketball or football because my dad loved it. So like, I did feel a little jealousy, towards Tony. But other than that, like, I never displayed it. He always know I love him. Like he can talk to me any day.
Yeah.
Like I never displayed that towards anybody. It's just something I held in my heart or I felt. But as I got older, we developed our own relationship, and that's just how I roll.
And that's what's eventually got to happen. You develop your own relationship. He wrapped it up the best way he could. We had to. The relationship I got with each one of my children will never be the same as the one I got with the next one. And there is a difference in having kids in your house and then out. You as a parent, you can't let that. It can't. You got to let that emotion ride out in them. You're not. If he would have said it 20 years ago, 2 hours ago, I still feel the same. You're gonna have to let that ride out. I love you. I go to bat for you. I give you anything. I lay on this ground and die for you. That's something equally I do for all y'all. But the relationship can be different. You know what I mean? The baby girl, I think she stays, I can get up and just go to the bathroom and she like, where you going? Because she ready to ride.
Yeah.
Tony was like that. Mark wasn't like that. I could be going somewhere he wanted, just like most would want, right? Like, where you going?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I want to go there.
Yeah.
You going to the store? Yeah, just bring me something back.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Versus that child saying, you want to the store? Shh, where my shoes at? You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you develop certain relationships with, different children. Some may argue, I wouldn't necessarily do it. Okay, everybody go. We all going to the store. First of all, you're not about to take 5 kids to the store to get a loaf of bread. No. But that one that says, wherever you going, I want to go. It only had 2 like that. Tony and then the baby girl, she like that. I could be going into vacant houses. She got her boots on, got her little gloves.
She
want to go in vacant houses too.
Sure.
So, but you learn that changed too, because I'm glad you brought it up. As a parent too, you have to learn how to love a kid at the level that they want to be loved. That's anybody too, right? But children are more important. So yeah, it took me a while to figure that part out.
Yeah. He said something interesting, and I thank you for what you're sharing. But he said after COVID, there was a switch. Do you know what he means when he says that?
Where the hell I like to die?
I didn't want to say it.
Okay.
I like to die. Yeah, man. I got COVID and it was pretty much call around making my last little.
Wow.
It was really bad for me. Fought back. But when you land in that bed, staring at that ceiling, and in the most agonizing pain that you can ever imagine, nothing you would ever wish on the worst person you ever met, you do tend to get a little more, you cherish life a little bit more. But it also came with a little bit more age. So you put that, I am way more sentimental than I ever been in my life. But I know COVID was one, but I think it also happened with age and time. Seeing my kids, now you're a grandfather, you kind of mellow out a little bit more. You starting to see, and you guys will experience it as men
Okay.
and fathers. You get closer to the end.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
All
You
right.
Put it this way.
All right.
Your good years are kind of like behind you.
All right.
Right? All your good years are like, so do I want to stay on the hamster wheel and miss these important days? You know what I mean? Because that's all you end up in. You on this hamster wheel. You constantly running all day long on that wheel, just going and going. When you decide to step out that hamster wheel, that changes you too. You know, that changes you tremendously because you're not running and running no more. You're able to stop, slow down, and see things a little bit better when you're not on that hamster wheel. So you get into that mode where y'all still parents and children. I want my kids to have the best. I want this, and you constantly, you know, on that wheel.
Yeah.
When that wheel slow down and you kind of get out that wheel or get off, you start seeing life a little different.
A little different.
Yeah. And be careful because it can be very selfish, or it can just look and cherish life. So.
All right. We strayed away, so I'm not gonna force y'all to answer all 4 questions, but I do have one that I think fits for both of y'all, and then we'll wrap it up there. You know. What does a perfect relationship look like right now? Not perfect, I know I use that word very loosely, right? Perfect. What does a good, great relationship right now look between y'all two?
I'll be happy when I see him. You know, just see him turn the corner, you know, you big old Kool-Aid smile. You know, for me, that's just like I wake up in the middle of the night, blue moonish, he just be on the couch sleep. You know, that's when you kind of you dig back down inside of you, and you know, and you just know what your child going through. It hurts you, but I'm just happy to know he know where to come if he don't feel comfortable right now, so he come home. So that's happy to me. Yeah, you know, my child just know he can. We could sit there and not say nothing, or we could sit there and say everything. So
Just that time together, it sounds like
man,
most precious commodity is the time.
man. It's no different when your child is 2 and they turn that corner and they come running to you with this big old smile. It feels the same when they 32, when you're a parent. You know, you just be like, you know, you brought up Tony, you know, I cringe when I look at my phone to see T2 calling because it's generally, hey, Dad, what you mess up, right?
Yeah.
I can honestly say when I look at Sonny, when Sonny called, I be like, oh, what's up? You know, we gonna talk about something. Now it used to be like, I don't want to hear nothing about none of this drama going on this life.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where it's like, no, bring it to me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
I like that.
So.
Mark, I'm gonna give you a different question. I changed my mind again. What is a father's love supposed to look like?
Unconditional, real and raw. Stern, but soft. There's so many words I can think of
Keep
right
going.
now.
Keep going.
I mean, I'm just overall just looking at the love that my dad gives me, and that's kind of what I'm portraying. Just real, you know, like you say, answer every question. So you gotta be careful what you ask. So overall, just a safe place to be yourself, a safe place to be emotional, safe place to be, you know. If I want to yell, scream, cuss, I can do it. You know, and that's what he provides, and that's what I make sure I give to my daughters, a safe place that they can be not be whoever they want, but more so express themselves emotionally. You know, if they want to tell me, you know, if I did something that they don't like and they like, I don't like you. I'm like, well, I don't like you either right now. So go sit down. We're going to come back to the board, you know, but you're never going to say, I don't love you. And we're never going to say, I hate you. That's one thing for sure. But you can always express yourself openly and basically this is a safe place for you. And that's what my dad provided for me.
It just looked different.
I love it.
Because he would have sat there and told me he liked me. He can go and, you know, hit the road.
The man who bought a
I'm
horse.
talking.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
well,
talking to toddlers.
I think
Toddlers know how to live on their own.
I love your relationship. I love what y'all have grown to because it seemed like it's got here with time. And I know we got to close out, but Mark, when you said something that highlighted a father's love, and that was a safe place and unconditional. So I think that's my take home today too, is focusing on making sure as a father and that love that is unconditional and it's a safe place. I appreciate y'all coming out today,
no
man.
problem.
I love you, brothers. Thank you all for listening today. Like, subscribe, and share. Shout out to the whole squad, Lucas, Shayla, Nike, Joe. We're just grateful that y'all were able to join us today. Peace, love, and soul.